All right, I Bleed Orange Sports Network. Such a time as this. We're in the first week of 2026. We've got a lot to talk about. First, I'd like to do a shout out to South Carolina Gun School. They're located over on 8114 Old Greenville Highway in Easley, South Carolina. Chris Lytle is the owner over there. You can go down and get your concealed weapons permit. You get rifle, handgun training, private training, the whole 9 yards. They do it all. Go see him. Also, such a time as this, backed by popular demand. We got I Bleed Orange Toffee. This stuff is to die for. They call it chocolate crack. It is so freaking good. You can ask Tam. She opened up a bag last night and it was gone in 3.8 seconds. But anyways, also Dottie's Chocolate. This is a long story. His grandmother started making it out of the house in the 1970s. It took off. He's got a place in downtown Spartanburg on Kennedy Street over to the market. And you can also get a fresh market. But the only way you can get I Bleed Orange Toffee is through I Bleed Orange. We brought it back by popular demand. If you're interested in getting you some, you'd be glad you did. This is the best tasting stuff on earth. Studies have shown that people who eat I Bleed Orange Toffee are 85.9% more successful, 72.3% better looking, and 99% luckier in life. Here, get your I Bleed Orange Toffee today. So here we are in 2026, and we got a lot going on. Let's talk about a little bit about basketball. We'll get into the college football playoffs and what's going on there. What a unexpected stuff we've got down to Miami and Indiana. But I want to talk a little bit about the basketball team. I've been saying this, and I'm going to keep saying it. I think we got the best basketball team we've had, and we had a good team last year. We've keep finding a way to win. I mean, that's the bottom line. We keep finding a way to win. And, we won 6 in a row. And they haven't been pretty. We've had some people come back, but we found a way on defense to shut them down at the end and come away with a win. We were ahead actually it was Wednesday night, yeah. And we were up 12 points at halftime. It got down to about 4 points, 1.23 seconds left. Brad didn't panic. One thing we're doing at the end is we're making our free throws. And then everybody's kind of chipping in. There's no real stars. I mean, you got Porter out there and you got Buckner. And I mean, one day Ace Buckner has a great night, and the following night it's Buckner. So everybody's just kind of splitting up. There's no superstar. They're playing well together. They're getting the ball around. They're passing around. The defense is playing unbelievable. And one thing they've done is they made free throws. And we talked about that a little bit on the podcast. They're called free throws, which means that's one thing you should make. At least make about 80 to 90% of them. You got to make your free throws because they're free. And it's just a free shot. So anyway, sponsored by South Carolina Gun School, Dottie's Chocolate, Spartanburg. You can go to their website, dottiestoffee.com, actually. And so anyways, we got that back. We're excited about that. Also want to give a shout out to Hall of Fame Sports Bar and Grill. We'll be doing a show over there every month this year. It's going to be like our home base. And so also Lefty's Bar and Grill on the west side, downtown Greenville. Believe it or not, we're going to be doing the last day of the Masters golf tournament. Of course, everything kind of builds up to that Sunday. So we're going to be going out. Hopefully the weather will be that good that day. We're going to do it outside on the deck out there. Just a lot going on. I know y'all football fans, we don't have a dog in the fight right now. It's the off season. I will say this, Tom Allen, we've gone out there and we've got 8 portals that I know of we've secured on defense, which we need. We lost quite a few people this year. The main thing I'm kind of worried about here, guys, ladies and gentlemen out there in Tigerland, and no disrespect to the quarterbacks we got on board. I just think we need to pick up a stud. I think we need a quarterback, and I think we need to go out there in the portal and get a quarterback. Worst possible scenario, you got Chris in there and you got Denson. Worst possible scenario, they battle it out. But I think we need to have a stud in there. Go out in the portable, get us a quarterback. I think we need to do that. I think Dabo needs to look into that. Of course, I'm not the coach. But that's why he gets paid the big bucks. We all know Chad Norris is back. That's not breaking news. I thought they'd wait a little bit longer to announce that. If any of y'all not familiar with Chad Norris was around Clemson around 2009 to 14. He was leaving right at the time that Taj Boyd left, and we'd done the 4th and 16. Deshaun Watson was on campus, and we had talked about it on our podcast. What do you expect? I don't know. I thought maybe go out and get somebody else, but one thing we expect, him and Dabo know each other. He's familiar with Clemson. He's coached Clemson before. He didn't get fired. He left for a job, another job, went out to SMU and coached for a year, and had another couple jobs. Actually took the last year off. The one thing about Chad Norris is he's not afraid to throw the long ball. He's not afraid to take shots. And if you remember back then, we had that fast-paced offense, and it worked. And so none of this predictable bubble screens and all this stuff that we've been doing. I think it's a good mix. I think it's a good hire. Time will tell. I don't think we've ever talked about this, but I got to bring up women's basketball. Sean Poppy, behind every great team's a great coach. He came on. He seems to have the Lady Tigers fired up. They've done something they haven't done in 15 years. 15 years. They beat the Wolfpack yesterday by 1 point, but they beat them. And they're playing good. There's a lot of enthusiasm around there. There's talk about postseason play. So it's good to see the women's basketball team, developing, and the new coach coming on board, and some excitement there. Because it's not just Clemson football. We cover all sports. Of course, football is the machine, the engine that runs the machine. But during the off season, you got other stuff. And I'm telling you, I'm more excited about this basketball team than I've ever been excited. And I'm just saying, everybody's solid. Brad went out there in the offseason and used the portal. We had one guy come back from last year, Dylan, but everybody basically somebody came in. He went out there and got a portable. There's no superstars. Everybody seems to play together, and that's kind of good, because the superstar gets injured and fouls out, then you relied on him too much. So it's kind of like a bunch of mix of the same talent coming together, playing together. And it seems to be working. We are playing Notre Dame at 6:00. It'll be our third. Let me think for a second. Yeah, it will be our third ACC game, away. This will be the third one. We've actually 3-0 in the ACC. We're number 2, just behind Duke. And actually, we're playing up in South Bend, up in Notre Dame, and we're playing 6:00. Notre Dame, I believe, has lost 5 games. We've lost 3 games. 3 of those games, we could easily have been undefeated. That BYU game should have never happened the way it did. We were up over 20-something points at halftime. So I think Brad's had some good halftime locker room talk, because there for a while, those games we lost, we were dominating in the first half, got lazy, got complacent, and the team came out and they took advantage of that and ended up coming up with a win. So I think we're playing more consistent 40-minute basketball where you got to play a complete game. It's not how you start. It's how you start. And it's also how you finish. You got to play a complete game. So with that being said, baseball's around the corner, believe it or not. Baseball starts in February. I went several games I was at last year. I was wearing long johns and a hoodie, about to freeze my butt off. It's like 31 degrees with wind blowing. But that's Clemson baseball. We got a lot of people. We went out. We lost a lot of people. Had Cam's gone. Of course, he's gone pro, and we had to pick up some people there. So we're getting into football's over. What are we doing in the offseason? Football to rebuild the team, because that's really important. We're also getting into the mix of basketball where we're starting to see ACC play. We're starting to see Clemson do some stuff. We're starting to see Clemson thinking about the NCAA tournament. I will say this, Clemson is disrespected in basketball. We always have been. And we were totally over-respected in football, coming in this year ranked number 4th in the kind of season we had. Clemson currently, which I believe they're a top 10 team right now, and you're thinking, Starnes has lost his mind. No, I really believe we're a top 10 team. They've got us ranked like 34, 35 in the RPI. Really? Like they're 34 teams better than us. But I'm excited. I saw Brad. He was over on the War back. When was that? Back in October. Got to talk to him a little bit. And I said, Brad, this is our year. And he said, yes, brother, we're going to do it. And I think Brad has kind of brought it together in the last 4 or 5 years. And especially in the last 3 years, we made that Elite 8 run. And so anyways, like Dabo always said, and like we should always say, one game at a time. We can't get too far ahead of ourselves. We got to take care of business today. We're playing Notre Dame. They're a tough team. We're, of course, playing in a tough environment. And then we're coming back to Little John after that, play some home games. So hope to see you guys out at Little John. So anyhow, what else? What else we got going on? I'll tell you what, Indiana is no longer just a basketball team. And Lord, we were watching that game last night, and I was telling Tam, it looked like David versus Goliath. I mean, you look at a score like that. I mean, you're playing Oregon. You're down in the top 4, of the playoffs, and it was a total whooping. Excuse my language. It was an ass whooping. It wasn't even close. They're dominated. They dominated Oregon. Wasn't even close. And what a Cinderella run by the Indiana Hoosiers. Whoever thought they would be in the national championship at the beginning of the season? You told me I want to place money on them even making the playoffs in August. I would have said, you're crazy. You've lost your mind. One thing I want to point out there is their coach. 23 of those players are portable players. They rebuild. I think the Clemson can learn something about that. You got to adjust with the times. You can't live back in the past. You got to live in the now. You got to live in the present. They went out there and got 23 studs. They got that quarterback. It's just unbelievable. He deserved the Heisman Trophy. I love the Cinderella story. I don't see anybody beating Indiana. I really don't. You got to love their coach. I mean, I want to see the guy smile. They're beating them 52 to whatever. It's like, you would think Indiana was playing the Citadel or Furman. It's supposed to be a Final Four. I don't think I've ever seen a Final Four game where somebody got dominated like that. It's like Oregon didn't even belong there. But anyhow, so we've got Miami, the U, and we got Indiana. And I didn't really see Miami in there, but Miami's defense is really playing solid. Carson Beck stepped up to the plate. He's playing good. So that was a good game. That was a heck of a game, the Ole Miss game. A little bit more enjoyable to watch, even though it's pulling for Indiana because I love the Cinderella story. It kind of reminds me of NC State basketball team back in 1981. That's kind of what I'm seeing in the football side with Indiana. They're coming on strong and just unbelievable. So we got a 6 o'clock game tonight. I believe it's on ESPN2. And just wanted to kind of pop in. We're popping in during the off season. When I say off season, I say football. We're popping in at 11 a.m. every Saturday until we get back into football and we start doing live shows, pregame shows, stuff like that. So we're just kind of touching base with Clemson family. We appreciate all the support. It's been an unbelievable ride. I'm so blessed to be able to do what I do for a business, to make a living doing this. I'm honored. I appreciate all our sponsors. We'll do whatever we can to help you. We continue to promote for you. And just put your name out there, Matt. We got a lot of stuff I'm working with in the background. We've got some big announcements coming out. I don't want to say it yet until all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, but we got some breaking news, some big stuff that's happening with I Bleed Orange that's going to take this company to the next level. And it's just mind-boggling what's going on. Join our podcast every Tuesday night at 7:30 as me, Rowdy Tiger, and Jacob Donald break it down like nobody else does. Join us here every Saturday at 11 a.m. live. Like I said, it's not going to be a long podcast. We don't have a football game today. We do have some NFL games. We do have some Clemson play. We got Panthers. I got to pull for the Panthers. We got the Panthers playing at Charlotte today. I think it's 4:30. But Jacksonville, and it's funny, you notice this, how Clemson, and there's nothing wrong with this. It only makes sense. But you could not be a Jacksonville fan, then all of a sudden they get Trevor Lawrence, they get ETN, and then all of a sudden, go Jaguars. And so we got Jacksonville in there. They're playing the Bills. I don't know. It was preseason, and you told me they're going to play each other. I would take the Bills. I just don't think. I think Jacksonville's the hottest team in the league. Trevor definitely has had an unbelievable season, and you got to love it for him. Such a great guy. Had a great career with Clemson. Just on and off the field. Just a real solid Christian dude. Good guy. What else can I say? Sunshine. So anyways, I've got Jacksonville winning the Super Bowl, and I've got Indiana. I don't even think the Indiana game's going to be close. I'm sorry. I don't think Miami can contain it. Nobody's really. Ohio State was closest to beating Indiana. It's 3 points. But anyhow, Indiana is playing on a different level. It's interesting. I know it's exciting for the Hoosier fans that only really had basketball. Now they've got a football team. And I'm hoping, I'm praying, but I think I'm right. I see that's where Clemson basketball is going. And it wasn't just like 3 or 4 years ago. Everybody's like, fire Brad Barnell. Fire. And all of a sudden we hit that Elite Eight run, and the rest has been history. We seem to get better and better and better. People want to come to play for Clemson. Last year was just simply a weird March madness. Never in my wildest mind. I never even heard of McNeese until we played them. And that was one of the worst games I've ever seen in my life. I don't know what we did. We got locked out of the locker room. Who does that? And then we only scored 13 points in the first half. So, and actually we had a couple more, another 3, 4, 5 minutes. We would have a chance to come back. But that's all bridge under the water. We reloaded this year. I'm excited about basketball. I'm excited. Let's go out there and let's beat the Irish tonight, and let's get another win. Let's get our 4th in a row, and let's come back to Little John and win some more games. Anything else I can think of? Also, Vapor Nation, I'd like to give a shout out to them. They're on Liberty Highway over in Anderson. They've been with us about 4 years. Anderson Ford, they've been with us going on the 4th year. Got several people coming up for renewal in March. About 90% of the people who do business with us renew. Also, Pendleton Candy Company, who's been a sponsor of ours, they're going to have this in their store, so you're going to be able to get it from me online, or you can go down to Pendleton Candy Company and get you some I Bleed Orange milk chocolate toffee. I'm telling you, there's nothing out there on the market, chocolate, that tastes like this. It is basically, you can't eat one of these things. It is addictive. And like I said, studies have shown that people who eat I Bleed Orange chocolate are 68.9% more successful, 42.4% luckier in life, and 99.9% better looking. Let's go. Get your I Bleed Orange toffee today. All right. Short but sweet. Go Clemson basketball. Let's bring home a win. Let's get back to Little John with 4 in a row. The only body ahead of, we're actually, speaking about being underranked, which I believe we're better than 35th in the nation. As a matter of fact, I know we are. We are second. We are second in the ACC, and you got Duke out there, and Duke's playing good ball, and of course they're Duke. Duke's phenomenally known as a basketball team. So, anyhow, sit back. We got a bunch of rain coming down here. Sit back, watching some football, watching some basketball today. Shout out to all our sponsors. Join our podcast Tuesday night at 7:30. The Rowdy Tiger, Jacob McDonald, and the Gorilla Man will break it down like nobody breaks it down. See you. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're over like 1.1K. YouTube channel is growing like crazy. It helps us. It brings into revenue shared. Is where we want to eventually get. And we're up in the top 4% there as far as subscribers. I know 1,000 subscribers doesn't sound like a lot. And I know you got Joe Rogan and some of these guys because they're Joe Rogan or whoever. Got millions of subscribers. You got to start somewhere, but we're getting to that phase. We're going over to the next level. So subscribe. It costs you nothing. It helps us out. We would love to get into where we're getting paid by YouTube. And why not? Why not? We do this for a living. YouTube makes a bunch of money. And all podcasts seem to be going over to YouTube. So it's a big thing. Let's go. All right. Nothing more I can think of to say. Just kind of got up here and kind of winged it today. We appreciate you. And all God's children said, go Tigers. All right. See you.